Good afternoon. My name is Carolina. We have put together a trip to Brazil that focuses on food and wildlife, visiting Rio and the Amazon jungle. So I'm just going to take a few minutes of your time, go through the itinerary together so you understand how the logistics work and everything that is included and what to expect. So Brazil 2026, we chose March as your departure. The seasons are flipped in Brazil. Therefore, March is summer. March is peak season. March is the season of carnival, of parties, of summer break for South Americans. And therefore, it's really lively, it's really popular, and one of the best times to visit, especially if you're going to the Rio area and want to experience that beautiful beach atmosphere and the laid back lifestyle of people that live here. So, March 27th, you're going to take your overnight flight to Brazil. The good part about going to Rio is that there is no jet lag because there's no time change. You're going to take an overnight flight, arrive in the morning, and off we go. We can explore without having a major time change. So on the 28th, when you arrive in Rio, big sign with your names on it. We're going to pick you up and take you to the hotel so you can rest a little bit. And the hotel will be right on Copacabana. So if you get that second wind, you can explore, you can go outside, you can lay on the beach a little bit. And then we will pick you up in the afternoon for a sunset in a tour. We're going to go for beautiful views. We're going to go to Sugarloaf so that you can have this stunning sunset, amazing experience with a drink in your hand, maybe a caipirinha, maybe a glass of champagne, just to welcome you to Rio. And if you would like dinner arranged, we have a list of amazing restaurants here in Rio and throughout South America, really. And La Sai is one of our favorites. They do a great tasting menu, so we can book a table for you there so you can have a nice experience. Sometimes the first night is not the right day for this because after a long flight, maybe you will be tired. We can move it to day two or day three, whatever it is that works for you. And the hotel we chose in Copacabana is the Windsor, California. Really great location, really great property. The service is wonderful. They have a rooftop pool. They have a great restaurant. They have views of Copacabana. You can literally step outside and go to the beach. So it's a good choice. And then the following day, we're going to start hitting some highlights of Rio so you can get to know the city and get to see some beautiful places. We like to tweak each trip to make sure it's not just following the buses of tourists. Everything is done privately, and we kind of incorporate some really special moments for you. So when we go to Sugarloaf, we'll do that sunset with champagne. When we go to Corcovado, we'll do some different things up there as well. So Corcovado is where Christ the Redeemer is. We're going to go around the time where the large buses are not there. We go to Tijuca Forest. So you get in a good sense. The city is very large, very congested. So we like to split it into different portions. So we're not sitting in a car for majority of the day, and so that we can really enjoy and taste your way through the city. So after going to Corcovado and Christ the Redeemer, we're going to have a beautiful private cooking class with a local chef, which is a highlight. I do this everywhere I go around the world, and cooking classes are just my favorite. You get your hands dirty, you get stories with the chefs, you really get to be proud of what you make, and that becomes your dinner. So we have that arranged for you. And then continuing exploring Rio, just so you don't hop around. Of course, we can include another part of Brazil. So let me stop here and just kind of tell you about some other places in Brazil in case you want to visit a third area. If you love food, Salvador da Bahia is an amazing place for flavors. It is like a melting pot. It is also on the coast, has a huge Caribbean and African influence there. So colorful buildings and a great downtown, wonderful food, lots of flavors and spices. So if you want to have a culinary expedition there, that is just a flight away. Or if you want something more intimate, smaller, sweeter, something off the beaten path, I think Paraty is a fantastic little village. It is about a 3 to 4 hour drive from Rio. It's where the jungle kind of spills into the ocean. There's islands there. We go island hopping. There's monkeys and dolphins. There's lots of marine life. And then, of course, the town itself is super charming, very small, cobblestone, and big into culture, lots of galleries and things like that. So if you want to have a 2 night stay or just to get off the beaten path, we sure can. Just let me know what your thoughts are. But now let's go back to day 4 in Rio. We're going to again break up the city into different places. We're going to go experience the Carioca lifestyle. This is the locals of Rio. This is tasting your way across the streets of Rio. And then Santa Teresa is the old historic town. It's very much like has a Portuguese flavor here with the trolleys. So again, we're going to show you all kinds of different parts of Rio that incorporate local food, that incorporate local culture. I love the city. You can spend a week here and not see it all for sure. And then tonight, we can make a reservation for you at the chef's table. The chef's table is another fantastic experience at the Chipirani restaurant. And here they do, it's a private table where you have an open view into the kitchen and the chef just cooks and drops things onto your table. And that is what you eat. There's kind of no menu. You just make a reservation and you pay there. So if you're interested, we can make that for you as well. Again, not just standard restaurants, but there's so many fun experiences as well. And then on our last day in Rio, we're going to experience Carnival. So Carnival is this huge festival, largest festival in South America. It happens once a year, but even though the festival is just 1 week, once a year, it actually is a process that the schools in Rio, schools just mean little groups. It's a huge competition, and so they plan for this all year long. So throughout Rio, there are huge warehouses, and it's a big secrecy kind of program where they are building their costumes and their floats. So throughout the year, you can visit them and experience Carnival on a smaller scale, learn about this huge competition and the passion that is behind it, and see the floats, which are like the size of a building. It's really fun. So you'll get to go there and experience a little bit of Carnival. It's a really off the beaten path experience. And then we're going to finish up with botecos. Botecos, again, is kind of like small bites. So you go out at night when the city is just exploding with people doing exactly the same thing. Lots of live music, lots of outdoor food, lots of people playing soccer on the sand. It's a lot of fun to just be out and taste some tapas in Brazil. And then on the 1st of April, we're going to take you to the airport and we're going to fly to Manaus. Manaus is the main city in the Amazon jungle. It is the only way to enter the Amazon jungle in Brazil. Otherwise, you would have to do it by boat. There are no roads to Manaus, no roads to the Amazon there. So you will fly into Manaus and spend 1 night in the city itself. The city is quite fascinating. Even though it's a jungle city, this used to be a hub for Europeans. So there's even an opera house and lots of culture and really interesting history. So you're going to do a private tour with our guide there to just get to know the city, spend the night. Why is it? Because when we arrive in Manaus, it's too late in the afternoon to start heading to a lodge. The lodges are deep in the jungle, so you want to always leave in the morning. So we always spend the night in Manaus in beautiful Villa Amazonia Hotel for 1 night, and then we head out to the Amazon. So in the Amazon, the lodge that we love is Anavilhanas. It's a great place. It can be reached by road between 3 to 4 hours. And then they also have a seaplane. So if you are interested, we can get some rates for hiring the seaplane, and that would take about 40 minutes to get to. But I think the drive is great. Kind of gives you an idea. You're going really deep in the jungle. You're going to pass some communities. So I just love it. I personally love the jungle, love rainforests. I'm in a rainforest at least once a year. I have visited the Amazon jungle throughout Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, and Brazil. So if you have any questions, I am more than happy to chat with you about expectations and what the experience is like, because it is quite remote. Yes, there will be bugs. Yes, there will be wildlife. It's all part of the experience, but the lodges that we work with are definitely not anywhere where you will be roughing it. They provide you with all the safety and equipment that you need to have a beautiful experience. So Anavilhanas, beautiful chalets, as you see, fully screened in, so there's no bugs inside. I mean, something might come in, but it's it's not a problem. And then they have a beautiful pool overlooking the river. All the excursions take place place from here. And the way the Amazon Lodge works is that even though you will see an itinerary here, it's just kind of giving you an example of what you can do. You will go out on canoes. You will go at sunset. You will go at night to go wildlife viewing, caiman catching. You will go fishing for piranhas. You will go stargazing because the stars, skies are amazing here. Lots of hikes, wet and dry, because depending on the water levels. So lots of excursions, but the guides kind of choose and pick what we can do that day based on water levels and the climate. And then you just kind of go along with it. But there are always diverse activities and always lots of wildlife. So here you will most likely see pink dolphins, lots of monkeys, different varieties of monkeys, of course, endless amounts of birds. There's sloths in the trees, and then there's some mammals that you may come across, especially in the evenings. So the guides will tell you all about it. So that is what the lodge experience is like. All your meals are included there. And on day 10, April 5th, we would take you back to the Manaus airport, and it's an international airport. You would fly home from there. It doesn't make sense to fly back to Rio and then home because Manaus is in the north of Brazil, and you can fly from there even nonstop to Miami and then on to other cities in the United States. So that is what the trip would look like. I do want to tell you about one more lodge. So recently, we started working with Private Amazon Refuge. This is a newer lodge, and their style is more focused on food. So going back to Anavilhanas, great food, everything's included. However, it will be jungle food, lots of starchy vegetables, lots of stews and meats, grilled chicken, things like that. So basic Amazon food. Here at the Private Amazon Refuge, they pride themselves in beautiful food. So it will be just a pleasure to even look at, beautifully plated. They even have a kitchen that you can take part in. So that's an interactive kitchen. That's what they call it. So it's a completely different experience because they're all about the service and kind of that spa feel. Yes, they're still in the Amazon. Yes, the same animals, same birds, same experiences, but they have this extra touch. So I'm sending you pricing for both lodges. I want you to experience, researching both of them and seeing what fits you best. Both are great. There's no way to go wrong with either Anavilhanas or the Refuge. I am here to answer any of your questions. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to the video. I hope it helps you kind of envision. Last thing I want to mention is Brazil requires a visa. It's an e-visa. I will send you the link to it. You do it maybe a month before departure, not any longer. It's an online process, so you don't have to mail anything in. You don't have to go to an embassy. You do it all online and you get the visa within 3 days. So it's quite easy, but it is a requirement to enter. So happy travels. Thanks so much for listening.